Today's fighter is one of the finest the Southwest has to offer. We chat about her decorated career as a vet, her love of sport and adventure, and what she has planned for her appearance at the 10th Perth Corporate Rumble, which is only 1 month away. Special thanks to Eaton Pet Vet, major sponsor of our guest today, and as always, Gobsmacked, major sponsor of the Perth Corporate Rumble. So please welcome Dr Kerri Wallis.
Yep.
Is that okay?
Sarcasm is my form of language.
You drive up from Bunbury?
Yes, I do.
How often?
3-4 times a week.
Oh, that's got to be rough.
Drove up last night, go back now, come back Thursday night. I'll go back Thursday night.
And you
come back on Saturday. Last night I stayed.
Yeah.
And on Thursday night I'll drive back probably. And on Saturday I'll drive back, but some weekends I'll stay the night.
That's commitment.
Mm-hmm.
That is some serious commitment. When I drove down there to see you guys the other day, I found that a serious commitment.
Not Bunbury, you're talking about to the gym.
Yeah, just to the gym.
Yeah.
I found that a serious commitment on my behalf to drive down to the gym.
I have to be packed, ready in the morning, leave work, hopefully by 4, if I don't get an emergency come through the door, and get up there normally an hour early to do the class first, and then I'll do the PCR class.
You're so active.
And then I'll drive back or stay the night. If I stay the night, normally on a Wednesday I'll do another class at PCR, and then I will go back to Bunbury, work the next day, come back Thursday night.
When do you have a time for any kind of social life? I know this. I guess this is your social life, but you just seem. I was going through some of the stuff you've done. You seem to be on the go 24/7.
I've been known for that.
How do you sleep? Good.
No, I don't sleep.
Really?
Not very often. No.
Okay. I know this is the one thing you don't ask a lady, but may I ask how old you are?
Sure. 52 years young.
52. 52.
Yes.
You are going like a steam train at 52. You're doing well. You are so active. You are doing like triathlons. You're obviously working hard.
Not triathlons anymore.
No?
I haven't done them for a few years.
When did you stop that?
No, I did one in, maybe 4 years ago.
Why did you stop? Just too busy?
Different sports. Change it up a bit.
And
took up football. Took up AFL.
Do you have any injuries?
How long does the podcast go for?
Really? You just battle through the injuries?
Yeah, just keep on going. I've got a very good physio in Bunbury.
Okay.
She keeps me going. Jodie Testro, Progress Physio.
Jodie, shout out to Jodes. Because that is extremely... That's it. That's got nothing to do with the fact that you're 52. But it's extremely impressive, the volume of activity and work and travel and everything you do at any age. You're doing well. I'm kind of jealous. That's why I'm focusing on this, because I'm kind of jealous, because I do struggle. And if I do anything too strenuous, I can be known to get injured quite easily nowadays. So you've done well to keep going.
Thank you. See how long I keep going for.
Because this is with the boxing, this isn't your first, I guess, scheduled bout, is it? Because you've had a couple cancelled prior.
Yes, I have.
Tell me about those two.
Okay, so 2018 I went to a charity boxing match, which was at the Crown, with and thought, wow, that looks like a good challenge.
Was that the RQCC? Yep. Yeah, okay.
And
you can mention that here. We're not that...
thought that would be a good challenge. And what a great way. Charities, do some sport, raising money for a charity. Yeah. Something I'd like to do. The year after I was travelling too much, couldn't commit to it. I'd already booked holidays. So 2020... famous COVID year. We started training in the January, and we'd done about 6 or 8 weeks of training, and obviously all the gyms and everything got shut down. Yeah. So just waited. And back then also I drove to Perth every Tuesday, Thursday night and Saturday to train. And so it shut down. So we just basically waited for it to happen again. They looked about doing it again early last year. And then they stopped it, which was lucky because the Crown was shut on the date the fight was scheduled for. And so at the end of the year, they scheduled another one last year. So I trained for about 8 weeks then.
So you're driving up to, I believe it's called the Hurt Locker, is that the place?
That's right. Yep, in Claremont.
Yeah.
And I'd also get there the hour early, do an extra session, and then I would do the session with the RQCC, get up the next morning, go back for the 6 or 7 o'clock session, then go back to Bunbury, go back to work, maybe an hour or two late, and trained. And when it come up to match-ups, I didn't get a fight.
How didn't you get a fight? Like, what happened? Did someone pull out, or what happened?
No, was about 4 or 5 in my weight category, and none of the girls wanted to fight me.
You are intimidating, I've got to say.
I don't think I am.
So all that training, everything you did, and what happened? Did you still go to the event, or did it? No,
I didn't. I went to Broome instead.
Oh, nice. Just take it easy on Cable Beach.
To be honest, I was pretty shattered because I put a lot of time and effort into it.
I can imagine.
And one of the girls was worried she wasn't going to get a fight, and she was a 20 girl, and I said, "You'll get a fight. We're the same weight. We trained together." And we sparred once together. And then she said after that she wouldn't fight me. And it was our first really spar or second spar. So it was a little really disappointing because we didn't sign up for ballet.
No. Just the way you talk. Oh, geez, I would have pulled out of that fight.
Oh, no way. Don't say that yet. I've not matched up.
The girls, I don't think anyone's going to turn down a fight. You got a great bunch down there this time around. I mean,
they are every sensational year. And all strong. And, I no offence to any of the other girls, but I do see a difference in the set of girls that are there and determined now. So, I have no doubt that no one would pull out because of that.
They do have the ability to draw, and this is definitely nothing against RQCC because I'm unsure of the fighters there, but PCR crew seem to have the ability to attract a different kind of fighter, like someone that is really committed, and I don't think you're going to have any dramas with any of the girls pulling out. It definitely wouldn't be a choice, I don't think, for a few of them to match up with you. But, I don't think you're going to see any girls pulling out this time.
They didn't pull out. They still got matched. They just pulled someone else in to fight them, and I didn't get a fight. How
did that person go on the night? Or is it too controversial to say? Yeah, we won't say that. No, we won't say that. We won't get offside with anyone.
No.
Someone told me the other day, do you realise last week it was the 3-year anniversary of when we went into our first lockdown?
Wow.
Remember that?
23 March, yes.
Do you remember?
Exactly, that was when I was training, yes.
I think it was the 19th. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But do you remember when that first kicked in?
Yep.
That was 3 years. It has been a brutal 3 years. I found, because 2 PCRs got delayed due to COVID. And this is the first one. Even the last one we had in November, it was still hanging around just that bit. You just weren't 100% sure it was going to go ahead. But now I don't see anything stopping this one from going ahead.
The only thing I'd be worried about now is staying away from sick people, because if you did get COVID the week before you had to fight, that would just be like...
We'll just say anything.
We're staying away from everyone. I just don't want to get sick. I don't want anything to happen.
Just fighting a mask.
Yeah. I was lucky I was in Bunbury, so we shut down a bit, but a lot of shutdowns we missed out on in Bunbury. We went on life pretty much as usual, as long as we didn't cross the border, come to Perth.
You were allowed to keep going down there?
Initial shutdown we weren't, but then when we had more down the track, once we were south of the border, we didn't have a lot of restrictions.
Okay.
And I could obviously keep working so it didn't affect me a hell of a lot, which I'm very lucky about.
Yeah. Oh, good one. And that's why you're working at the vet. So is this Eaton Pet Vet?
Eaton
is this
Pet
your
Vet.
Major sponsor, Eaton Pet Vet?
Yes, it is.
I'm just about to meet the team, and I know who already is on the front page of this. Oh, look at you there.
Oh, and there's my little doggy.
Smiling. That's your dog?
Yeah. Gertrude. And that's Russell, my main vet, next to me.
Yep. Two of the new girls?
No, Tash does locum work for us now. She's going to be a human nurse. So she's back at uni. She was a vet, now being a human nurse. And the beautiful lady on her right, Bernie, has been a nurse with me ever since I opened up 8.5 years ago. She also is studying human nursing now.
Okay. Human nursing. I do like the way that you word that, human nursing. Yeah?
Yep.
Who have we got here?
Jackie, she's also been with me ever since she's done her traineeship. And Lorena on the right is another vet that's not doing mainstream vetting anymore. She's gone to the ag department.
Okay.
A lot of vets don't stay being vets for too long, unfortunately.
Do you, did you look here, the cats,
Yeah.
Astrid and Hiccup.
Yep, they've been there since I opened up pretty much.
Jeez. How are they? How are the two,
They're
the
really
two
annoying.
mascots?
Yeah.
Cats. Are you a cat person or a dog person?
I'm a all animal person. Yeah, so I'm both. I can't pick.
I don't know about cats. Cats are suspect, I reckon. Something I don't trust about cats. These guys are your major sponsors, is that correct? How did all this come about?
Okay, so
Tell me.
Eaton Pet Vet I opened up 8.5 years ago.
EPV as I call it.
It was my practice.
Yep. You started it.
Yes, from scratch. So
Down
I had
Eaton.
Yep.
I love dogs down there. Is it just me, or does everyone around that area have a massive dog that's going to bite you? That's all I can think about when I go down to Bunno.
It's starting to change a bit.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of dogs that are coming in that are trying to bite us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We don't get danger money. But
have you been bitten?
not badly. Just nipped.
Can dogs smell fear?
They can smell probably the pheromones of other dogs that are in the clinic that feel feared.
Okay.
So not fear from people.
Really? I need to know that because I got savaged by a dog about 10 years ago quite badly. And ever since then, I have got a fear of dogs. And I swear, if there was 50 of us lined up and there was a dog that was going to bite someone, it would eyeball me and come and bite me. I think it can tell. Can it just tell?
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
I'm crazy.
No, it's your imagination.
I think I am.
Yeah.
I think I'm just looking for an excuse. Okay, so tell me more about Eaton Pet Vet.
Okay, so I was working locally. I'd moved back to Bunbury where I grew up, and it was about locally 45 minutes away in Collie, and decided I needed a job closer to where my kids were at school. Yep. So I started a mobile practice, which got busier and busier, and decided I'd open up my own practice back at home, and just found an old gym that wasn't being used anymore and turned into a vet clinic, and thought I would see how that went, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. So I had that for 7.5 years, and I sold it 18 months ago to Vet Central, who is now the sponsor.
Okay. So Vet Central are your sponsor?
Yes. Vet Central is in Brisbane. They're a corporate that are buying several vet clinics across Australia, and they also own Cannington Vets in Cannington and Go Vets and Go Vets.
Okay.
Yep. So they're the three, and my Eaton Pet Vet in WA. So they are my official sponsor.
Yeah.
So when I sold it, I said, well, I was going to sponsor myself for a fight. If you want to buy my practice, you must sponsor me for my fight.
Nice. Good deal.
So that was part of the contract. Well, the first fight, as I said, the fight didn't go ahead, but they're still sponsoring me now.
Oh, good on them.
Yep.
And they're going to keep the name Eaton Pet Vet?
Yep, all the vet clinics keep their own name.
That's good.
It's just, it's going to be a company floated on the stock exchange. It's going to be a big...
Really?
Yeah,
big thing. I see a lot of pet insurance ads flying up now.
Yeah,
so
pet insurance is pretty handy to have when you've got pets these days.
It's a little bit of an accessory having a pet nowadays, isn't it? Used to be like you get a dog, you get a guard dog or a cat or something, and that's it. But now it seems to have gone through this phase. I could be wrong. It seems to have gone through this bit of a phase where it's an accessory.
Oh yeah, like even when I grew up, dogs were in the backyard, never come in the house.
Yeah.
Now people, especially since COVID, like people have monthly things delivered every month and spent for toys and treats for their dog as a surprise online, and the amount of things people do for their dogs now is insane, and the price you're paying for dogs since COVID is insane, but part of the family now. So
how do you go with these like you know how there's certain dogs that are purebreds or there's a certain type? Is it true that some of these dogs are having like they have issues in our climate? Like I saw a bulldog the other day and he was struggling to breathe and he looked like the perfect bulldog. But this guy, the dog sounded like he'd been on he was a chain smoker for 30 years. He was really hurting.
There's a few breeds out there that...
not suited to our environment? Not
suited to existence, I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
All my clients.
Okay.
The problems, and they come in and they go, oh, no, my dog won't have problems because I spent this much on my dog and because a breeder said, and 2 months later, they're in with the issues that you're going to tell them the dog's going to have. But
what are the main issues that animals have?
Which animals? Any breed?
Okay. Just go dogs and cats. That's where I sort of...
Yeah, but there's different breeds in it. So some dogs, let it be the bulldogs or the Frenchies.
Yeah. French bulldogs seem to be popular at the moment.
And
oh, geez, that was one. Nice little subtle look you gave me there.
Breathing issues for a start.
Yeah.
Breathing's kind of important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does help.
Yep.
What about guinea pigs? Tell me about those. We've got a couple of guinea pigs that
I saw you hutch out the front.
Oh, that's the old hutch. The bit they've upgraded to the deluxe suite. Geez, I love paying for that out the back. How are guinea pigs? How do those things survive? Because they're not. Aren't they like native to Brazil or something? Is that true? You get many guinea pigs in?
Yeah, we get quite a few guinea pigs in.
What's the issue?
What they're native to, I have no idea about. And
what should I look for? What should I look for with our guinea pig? Because all I know is one of them apparently had a cough the other day, and it cost me about $200 to be told that he had a bit of hay or something in there.
Is it breathing or is it dead?
No, he's fine.
There you go. No, what are you looking for?
I don't know. I'm just terrified of the day these two guinea pigs call it a day. I don't know how my kids are going to survive.
It'll come around sooner than other animals, so they don't have a very long lifespan.
Just don't tell me that. Just lie to me. One of my kids is out there. That's
I'll
too
say
loud.
it a bit louder. Good thing is you can go down the shop and buy another one that looks the same and stick it in there and they won't know.
What is it like as a vet? Like it's got to be, because the only reason I ask is because I know a lot of kids mention, I want to be a vet, and then they do work experience. This is from what I heard. I haven't experienced this. And then they come in and it seems to be like they almost are exposed to not the harshest things, but the hardest to deal with things. Example, like euthanizing animals and euthanizing, is that right? Is that the right word?
Yeah.
And it's almost like to not give them a false sense of what the actual job's like. So how do you go with dealing with all that? Because it must be very stressful, and the owner's passing that stress on to you. How do you go with that?
You have good days, you have bad days. There's so many different aspects of being a vet. A lot of good, obviously, it's why I've been a vet for 30 years. But it does take the toll on you, and hence why I have sold and trying to move on out into something else. But dealing with it changes on a daily basis and depends on the clients and the people and who's involved and the circumstances. But it's pretty stressful. Vets have the highest suicide rate of any profession.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of you're on TV, news, ABC, they'll do documentaries and stuff on it. So it is pretty, and the stress expecting to do everything that a doctor can do with people complaining about spending $200 on a cough. Oh,
that
sorry.
Was me.
Yeah.
Oh, don't have a go at anyone else, but tee off on me.
Everyone wants to have a go at what they're spending and on their animals, and it's like, or you need to diagnose what's wrong with the animal, but no one wants you to do any tests on it. And I go, what's wrong with it? And I go, well, give me your crystal ball and I'll tell you. No.
I've set you off. I've said something and I've set you off.
Yes, you have.
I take that back.
I'm
that was
holding
the
it
best.
back. I'm holding back too because, I'll be kind on our first meeting.
It must be. Do you find yourself, you get almost like, do you know how people get hard in the sense of you get almost like, what's the word? Not withdrawn, but you know how like you see police and they have a very hard personality, and that's how they are that's what they have to do to be able to deal with that.
So like a new person around and we're dealing with it, we might have what they call black humour, where you'll come out and you'll make a silly joke to make someone laugh just to try and take the edge off the feeling in the clinic. But there's days where we can see different people are not coping and you just go at the back and take a breath and have your tears. At first, when I started, I thought it was embarrassing if you were teary or sad with your client. And then I had one boss that told me off because a lady came in and brought me chocolates and thanked me for the compassion I showed over a weekend of treating her dog. She was a beautiful old lady. In the end, I had to put it down with her, and she's crying and I was crying with her, and she went in and thanked my boss for me. My boss turned around and said, what you cried in front of a client told me off, and I was like, oh my goodness, at least it's better than being an ice maiden. And so some are harder than others, and I think I'm worse now at crying and being sad than I was in my younger days, because I think, well, it's how I feel.
30 years ago, that was a different story. You didn't do anything like that kind of...
My dad told me when I was a little kid, when I said I want to be a vet, and he said to me, you'll never be a vet. You're too much of a sook. And so he said, you cry watching TV. They used to call me bullfrog face, because I cried every time Lassie was on or a horse died in some show. And I thought, oh, that's right, I won't be a vet then. So I was never going to be a vet. So...
And here you are.
Here I am.
30 years later.
Years after. Yeah.
It must be tough seeing some of the stuff that you see.
I think cruelty and the sickness or sadness of animals sometimes is worse. If an animal is really old and you're putting it down and it's had a good life, sometimes that makes me happier, because it's got people around that are loving it and cared about it. I think, wow, this dog's 16, it's had a great life. So these people got family around, but when you see a person maybe on their own and it's their only family and stuff like that, and you take that on board, and it's pretty hard.
Jeez, so much more to it. I didn't know. You've had 30 years of this. You would have seen the change in 30 years.
Oh, yes, in the veterinary industry.
Is it better now, or is it just different?
Depending on whose opinion.
Yeah, in your opinion. That's all I care about today. I definitely won't bring up that $200 again. It was so cheap. So happy.
Why didn't
so
you
happy.
go buy another guinea pig?
Caramel's cough is dealt with. Caramel, gee. Her name's a guinea pig, Caramel. So in your opinion, just your opinion, is it better nowadays?
The care is better. The standard of care is better.
Yeah.
Yep. But,
okay. Do you ever see it where people are trying to prolong the life of an animal because they're not ready to let go?
100% all the time.
Okay. How's that go?
You try and talk people around, or you try and talk to their family to talk to them. But that's one of what we would talk about. Is that it's better than, this is a good choice. You don't want to keep your beloved Caramel around just for the sake of
Caramel.
For the sake of the family, and you got to put, this animal, Caramel, has given you so much of its life to you. So far, you owe it to give this gift back to Caramel. Yeah. It's a gift you're giving your pet.
That makes a lot of sense. But people aren't really. They want to hear something, and if they don't hear what they want to hear, they'll just ignore it and say no.
Oh, 100% all the time.
Geez, I'm hitting some nerves today, aren't I?
An interesting story.
Tell me.
How people deal with the loss of their pets. Had one gentleman come in when I was working in Victoria in Melbourne, and he said, is this normal? We put his mother's dog down 6 weeks prior. She keeps it in the freezer and brings it out every day and cuddles it and pops it back in the freezer again. And she's been doing that for 6 weeks because she can't let go of the dog. That's pretty hard, core, sad.
That is.
I said, no, I don't think that's normal, but I'm not a
next
psychiatrist.
level, isn't
I'm a vet. You might need to go speak to someone, and get that sorted, yeah.
Jeez. It's a different. I had no. Geez, I'm getting emotional here. I might need a debrief after all this. Thought we were going to come in for a bit of a chit chat.
Talk about something else.
All right,
whatever.
I just got
funny
a couple.
Stories. No.
I got I'd love the fact.
Right.
I asked you.
A funny story?
Yeah, no, I did. Your message when you sent me the message here. I just had a quick scan over it, and always something grabs your eye. And do you know the one story that what you said? You want to read that out? Because I'm not going to say. What did you do this morning?
What I'm
right there, bottom line.
For 30 years, I've got some interesting vet stories. Where do I go? I masturbated a dog this morning.
Can't wait to hear about this. Just let me get ready on the edit button. Why? Okay. Tell me, how about we go into some stories? It doesn't have to be that story. I was just surprised that that's the one that
That's a boring story.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Tell me some stories about work.
About work.
Because you're one of the first, I've read this, you're one of the first, when you're in Melbourne, worked in one of the first emergency
24-hour vet clinics in Melbourne. So that was 20-odd, 25 years ago, there was probably 2 24-hour emergency clinics in Melbourne. Yeah, I worked in one of them.
How busy were they?
Crazy busy. Insanely
Madness.
busy. Things that come to the door was insane.
Because I was just trying to think, prior to that, unless your dog or your cat or your guinea pig got sick between 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, I suppose you're in a bit of trouble.
Oh, not really. There was, in Melbourne, clinics pretty much were open, like you had an after-hour number to call. I've been doing that in my own practice.
Okay.
10 months I was on call 24/7, 7 days a week. That took its toll.
Too much.
But so here in Melbourne, and we've got this obviously in Perth now, where at close time you turn the phone over and said if there's an emergency, you go. It's like going to a hospital. If you don't go to your GP in the night time, you go to your hospital. So that's what you can do in Perth City. In Bunbury, we still manage most of our own after hours. So, but working there, you see all sorts, lots of different things. Okay. It is an interesting, fun time to be working, but it does take your toll on the life and everything.
It would. It would, because your kids are grown up now. But if you've been doing this for 30 years, how did it go with the family throughout that time? Because it almost sounds like a 24/7 kind of job that you've been going with the last 30 years. How many
Christmas days I've sat down for Christmas lunch and had to get up and go to work, or Easter. One of my very good friends now that I went to Africa with last year, she was a client at the time and rang me. I was sitting down for Easter lunch or dinner, and she rang me. Her dog had something wrong with a new puppy, and I went into work. Treated a dog. Ended up having to take it home, keeping it sedated, looking after this dog. But the whole Easter, I was looking after this dog. Missed out on Easter lunch and everything like that. But that's part of the job. The dog lived, and it's beautiful.
Nice.
6-year-old. How old are you, Lexi? Can't remember now. 5 or 6-year-old dog now, so that's good. She survived.
I could imagine Christmas and like the holiday times. That would be a very busy time for someone feeding the dog something under the table they probably shouldn't have.
Oh yeah.
We should actually get back onto this, haven't we? We've been talking.
I went and watched one, but I've never obviously. I did go watch it. I haven't watched a PCR.
You have?
No, I haven't watched only RQCC, and only one. Yeah.
Okay. How was it?
It was good. Yeah.
It was good.
I only decided to go on the night. I was at the Crown with my ex.
Yep.
And he was an ex-boxer.
Oh, really?
And we said, there's boxing on. And we saw Troy Barbagallo on the lift, and he said, there's a couple of tickets left if you want to go down and buy one, and found something to wear in my suitcase, and we went down and watched it. So that's how it just accidentally stumbled across it, watched it, and we said, oh, God, I wouldn't mind doing that. And that's what all started.
The events are something else, I got to say. And that's not just me saying them. I've been to a number of, not these kind of events, but like social events. And these are outstanding. I can't wait. Do you know how many days away it is?
Yep.
31 days. 1 month.
1 month, exactly.
1 month. And we're going to be seeing you in the ring. Hopefully your opponent doesn't get cold
I'll get matched up. I'll get a fight.
That's supposed to happen tomorrow.
Supposed to. Let's.
Oh, Glenn Austin's involved. Just had 2 weeks onto that. Can you imagine if he was a builder? Imagine that. Oh, yeah, your house will be ready in 6 years.
Still could be tomorrow.
That would be good.
But I did hear rumours it may not be. We'll see.
I think they're pretty good. They're normally like not on time, but they got a lot. It's a lot to juggle. So much goes into it.
I could imagine it. Yeah.
Oh, they do a great job. I think it's Pim and I think Chloe's involved this year as well. They do a great job. Great ladies. You're doing a great job. So this is going to be your first PCR event.
Yes.
Are you pumped?
Yeah. I
can
pumped,
imagine.
Yeah.
And who's coming?
A couple of people from Perth, but most from Bunbury are coming up, staying the night.
What are the family? Because I understand you got 3 boys. Not 3 boys, 3 kids. You've got
3 kids. One of my kids is only 17, so I would love for him to come, but or even just watch the event. So, but I don't think he'd be allowed to. But my daughter is, and most likely my son as well. Yeah.
It's your 17. It's his birthday just before the event, isn't it?
Oh yes,
yes it is.
He's nearly 18.
Let's sort that ID.
30 days.
How do they feel about you fighting?
Well, my daughter fights. She does kickboxing and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Okay. So she's had about 3 or 4 fights and is hoping to get. She talked last night about going to New Zealand next year and fighting. So she's keen.
Oh, it's in the blood. It's crazy.
My younger kid does a bit of kickboxing, and as I think I mentioned, my ex was a pro boxer and a boxing coach for 15 years, so he has taught him to box a bit. So he's still thinking he might. So
it's always going to happen.
Yeah.
So what is there a touch of jealousy knowing that mum's going to come out in front of 2,000 people, screaming fans?
Nah,
get the win,
excited.
get the belt?
Yeah.
Or where are you going to hang that belt up if you win it?
Yeah, with all my other awards I've won.
Trophies. Just jumping back here, you mentioned to me you did the Blackwood Marathon.
Yes.
I didn't know what that was. I looked that up.
Did you?
I did, and I was talking about it at work last night, and they said it was is it run, paddle, swim, horse?
12K run.
Yeah.
7 or 8K paddle.
Got the link right here. There we go.
6.2K paddle, 1K run, swim, and 16 on the horse and 18.6 on the bike. That's shorter than I thought.
What out of this, shorter. What do? Do you do all of it?
Yes. So normally it's a team event.
You are crazy.
But I think back when I was in the early 90s, I thought, I might do that one day. So I had a horse. I've always ridden horses all my life, so I just learnt to paddle. Yeah.
That is a serious event.
You do get a lunch break between the canoe and the swim.
And it's in October.
Yes.
So the ground will be heavy. It would still be cool weather down there. It's a cold day.
It's 1990 something. I did that. It was a long time ago.
I can't remember.
It wasn't. I can't remember. It wasn't cold. It wasn't miserable. You swam with the wetsuit on. No, it was fine.
I even did a street view here.
Oh, yep.
I had to have a look at the terrain.
You ran on the gravel road, then you'd come down into the canoe, and it all depends on the range how your canoe went as well. It could be a really fast paddle, or it could be a really slow paddle. There's been no rain, so
this is some serious terrain that you're running in here.
And I ran like the wind back then. I did a really good run. That was my best leg. Yeah. But anyway. That
is impressive. Just the fact that you can complete something like that is unbelievable. Good on you. I can't even believe why I did. It's because I had that. I saw this photo or this Google Maps image here, and that just looks like some harsh territory. You've obviously had, sounds like you've had an incredible career, and just from listening to it, I hope you do realise what you've achieved, especially with the vet. It is something. It is very impressive. I'm not just saying that because I'd prefer to give you shit than give you a compliment.
I'm used to being given shit, but so I don't like compliments too well.
that is an achievement. All right, you're doing better. I couldn't do it. I'd be in tears every fucking day. I'd be like, no, don't save this thing. And with this, I think it's your age. You've had some massive wins, but you've had some massive. I'm guessing you've had some massive losses. I can't imagine what a divorce, for example, would be like. It must be heartbreaking. And I think you're in a very, this is my opinion, I think you're in a very good position where you are going in there to fight, win, lose or draw. I think you are going to be able to enjoy it. Obviously you want to win. And for that reason, I think you are going to have, I don't know who you matched up with, but I reckon you are going to probably get more out of this than a lot of people because of how I assume your mindset is. I don't know, but how I pick up on your mindset. So I reckon this night it is going to be madness. I can't wait. I'm actually really pumped for this one. So anyway.
I think it's a win-win for me. The excitement of it all, the adrenaline rush, because I'm an adrenaline junkie.
I can tell.
And just being in that ring, I've got nothing to lose. If I'm a 52-year-old lady fighting someone probably in their 20s or early 30s,
for 52,
just got to love it. And I don't win. Even if I lose, I'm out there doing it. It's fun, and all these new friends, all these new people. My biggest fear is when it's over. What next?
Take it easy. Take a holiday. Head back to Africa or Bali or something. Just take it easy. You are in the smallest percentile of people to have got in a ring and fought. Just virtually no one does it. One in 0.01% or something of people have actually had a fight. That is such an elite group of people to be in. I hope you appreciate that because I couldn't do it.
I do. I'm excited by it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I think there is I think some of the fighters come back and go back to back. A couple of fighters have fought twice in a row.
Okay.
Imagine that. Just love it too much. Good on them.
Might wait till I'm 60 and come back.
If you don't have an opponent, I'll get in and fight. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
No, I'll lose. Trust me. Trust me.
I
just
think so.
one body shot. That's it. I'm on the ground. I'm so injury prone. So you were for 2 RQCCs you trained for?
Yeah,
or just
but not the whole time. The first time it was shut down.
Yeah.
Like when it was at May, so the fight was going to be March. So we probably trained. We hadn't got to sparring. We'd trained 4 or 5 weeks. I think we just got our headgear to start sparring. So
is this 2020 or 2021?
2020.
Okay, 20. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So we just, because it was 3 years ago,
Yeah,
March.
Yeah.
As you said, end of March.
Oh, yeah,
I
of
think
course.
it was shut down, and we started training in February. So we'd done 6 weeks, I think. So the fight was beginning of May. So we had 6 weeks to go. So we hadn't sparred yet.
Okay.
And then last year we'd only, I think, sparred. I think I sparred 3 times. You know, got in the ring 3 times with a couple of girls.
Yeah.
And that's when I got cut.
Jeez. It must be just... How does it go with just the emotional side of things when you're that committed? Because obviously you guys all are. And the fact that you're coming up from Bunbury, I remember when Glenn told me, I thought that is a serious commitment. The travel as well. How did it go when you realised you weren't fighting? Did you ever come down? Like, was it?
I didn't take it. It wasn't a great time, but everyone knew that you may not get a fight, so that was a possibility. I must say, because of my commitment, the owner of the gym and the organiser of the event said, "Oh, we'll get you a fight. You'll have a fight, Kerri." So they really wanted me to have a fight.
Yeah. I think you'd be an entertaining fighter, I'll be honest. I think you'd be great. What's your cardio must be off the charts with the amount of stuff you do. You got good cardio?
Yes.
Yes. It's unstoppable.
Cardio will be
the
fine.
Engine, they call me. The diesel engine.
The cardio will be fine. It's the lack of skill. Apparently you can have a cup of tea in between my punches, I've been told. So maybe I need to just smarten up on those skills, which is kind of important.
How have you found the training?
I can be smart ass and said, I've got Google Maps, and that's how I got there. But anyway, no, sorry.
The humour. It took me a minute to pick that up. I was thinking, what question did I just ask you there? Slow on the take today.
I've enjoyed it. It's getting straight into full on, not so much of the basic how to do a punch, but getting straight in and doing like a lot of sparring and switching around and sparring different people. It's been... compared to what I've done before, it's keeps you. It's better. It's better.
They did not muck around, did they?
No mucking around. Straight into it. Let's do this. Let's do that. And yeah, it's great. I think it's a really good concept that they have.
It is all those things that I guess you're not sure of as a coach, whether someone is going to be able to handle that kind of pressure and that adversity when getting hit. Is they had you, I don't know if this is how it is normally, but they had you exposed to everything in those first couple of weeks, didn't they?
Pretty much. Maybe not the first week, but by the second week.
What's got the mouth guards? The Gobsmack mouth guards. Gobsmack major sponsor.
Yep.
I don't have my shirt on today. Sorry, Jan. I normally wear the Gobsmack T-shirt. I think it's in the wash.
Yeah. So straight away. At least you know what you're in for. Yep. If you wait for 8 weeks and then we got to the end like the last one I was doing, and then some girls didn't want it, you get punched in the nose, and it is quite a shock if you're not used to being punched. So I think it's a good concept. It's
a great concept. How have you gone? Have you had to change like your eating? Well, do you have time to eat with the amount that you do?
I eat lots, yes.
Really?
But I always eat fairly well unless it's a weekend.
Healthy? You're not stopping at those truck stops along the way between Perth and Bunbury getting some KFC?
No, not KFC. I'll have a toasted ham and cheese sandwich at McDonald's. But I'll often make something to eat on the way home if I'm driving home, or I'll bring it up and feed the kids when I come up.
Have you lost any weight or put any muscle on during this training so far?
No, about the same.
Do you know what weight you got to be at? You don't have to tell me the weight, but do you have to go up or down?
No, I did ask because Glenn said, "Oh, what do you weigh today?" And I said, "What weight do you want me to be?" And he's just, I said, "I can put on some weight. I don't think I'll lose much weight. No, I could probably drop 1 or 2 kilos, but I don't think that'll help me fight any better."
Okay, because there's quite a few of the fighters, or not just a handful, around your weight class. Is there?
I don't know. It's hard to.
It's quite deceptive, isn't it?
There's some girls that are like in the a higher weight class.
Yep.
And I think there's. I don't know how close you have to be together in weight.
It's about 3-4 kilos. I think I could be wrong there.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's fairly close.
Yeah, so I don't know how they match everyone up like that. You can, if I look, there is one girl that's within 2 kilos of me and 1 centimetre higher and 2 kilos. So you think, well, that's a perfect matchup.
Well, who's that? Can I say? Can you say? You can have a guess. You can have a guess who your opponent's going to be. I don't know at this point in time.
Phoebe is, I think, 1 centimetre or 2 centimetres taller than me and 1 or 2 kilos heavier. I'd rather be the person
Phoebe.
a centimetre or 2 taller and a kilo or 2 heavier. But there's a couple of girls that are smaller and you think, well, they look fine, matched together. There's some of the bigger girls that got strong punches. And I think, whoa, my head would go off if one of them punched me. But then, I
think they match up on skill level. They try to get the weight thing sorted, but I think the main concern is that skill level because they want a nice close fight, which they all are. So, or Phoebe. Phoebe's got a target on her back now.
No,
Phoebe.
Everyone's lovely there. Like, it'd be easier if someone wasn't and then you'd fought them and then you wouldn't mind punching them.
Yeah.
But because everyone's so nice, you think, oh, I don't want to punch you. They don't want to punch you. It's hard.
It is great how, after the fight, how well everyone gets along. And you get some guys that fought each other, and guys and girls that fought each other, and afterwards they're still like in contact most days, and they're still like best of friends. So there's no real animal. I know you are fighting that person, but I suppose if you can put that on hold for your 6 minutes.
Yeah.
6 minutes. It's a long time. That cardio is going to be tested. I'm going to see you around 3. I tell you, if your cardio starts to drop, I'm going to say, remember when you told me that your cardio was off the charts?
Yeah, I'm not very good short-term, like 2-minute bouts. I'd be better over a 2-hour bout. That's where I'd benefit my
One
cardio.
round, 2 hours.
No, but my cardio, I'm more of an endurance athlete. I got told I'd be better if there was a 12-rounder, not a 3-rounder.
Okay. Jeez, 3. Sure if I can commentate 12 rounds of you guys. How have you gone? Like, how's the social life taken a bit of a? Has it taken a bit of a hit? Have you had to ease back on the wine and cheese dates, or you still managed to get some time in there?
Still got plenty of time in there for that.
So much time. How many hours have you got in a day? Jeez, you're doing something I'm not.
Plenty. Social. Yeah, that's fine. Beach volleyball stopped now, which is a Wednesday night, so that gives me a night off now during the week, which is good.
So one night off. You are so active. I'm impressed, and I'm jealous. I'm very jealous. Jealous more than impressed, I think. The fact that you can cram so much into a week. 31 days out. Is there any fears about the event itself? Well, we haven't been matched up yet, so my biggest fear is not getting a fight. Really? Yes. It must. Oh, yeah. After experiencing what you did, that must be in the back of your mind. Yes. So if I get a fight and I have a fight, then my biggest fear would be, wow, what could ever match up to that next in my life? So what do I do? Like, what's next? What's next? Like, I can only imagine how amazing this is going to be, and the adrenaline rush and the excitement from it all and all the training, and then suddenly all this time I put into training. Oh, what do I do now? What do you do afterwards? There must be a come down for the fighters. I often think about this because it's a bit of a come down for me, and I'm just sitting in the crowd. So there must be something to take the place of this, because this is almost like a total life commitment for this period of time for the event. What could you possibly do afterwards to match this event? What are you going to do afterwards? What are you going to do? I tell you what, if you want something that's just sheer excitement, I can put this in, is you could go on Tinder for a while. All right, let's get back to this PCR. We've been going nearly 2 hours. We've been gas bagging.
What is it? Yep, 11.
There you go. All right. Team-wise, 2 coaches, excellent. Oh, sorry, 4 coaches. Probably, is there 4? Is there just the 4 of them? Or is there...
They have others that come in and do cameo coaching.
Okay. We'll just say the main 4 here. We've got Glenn and we've got Craig Wilson and we've got Chris Chiari and we have Glenn Austin. Chris, I don't think Chris...
Nigel, you didn't mention it. You said Glenn twice.
Did I?
Yeah. You forgot Nigel.
No, how could I forget Nige? My favourite, Nige.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris, I don't think Chris likes me for some reason. I can't work it out. Every time I see him, he looks at me funny. I don't know.
Does he look at everyone funny?
I don't know. He looks at me. No. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry if I've pissed you off some way, Chris. I didn't mean to. Do you have a team? Do you think you're suited to one of those coaches? Excellent coaches all round. But do you think you're going to be in one team? Do you have an inkling which team you're going to be in?
Well,
I think that's a yes. By that look.
I didn't realise we were split into teams. Led to Monday, Wednesday nights, and Tuesday, Thursday. And I thought it was always Tuesday, Thursday. And because I drive from Bunbury to Perth to train and back, I've arranged some days off to make that easier for the last few weeks. So Tuesday, Thursday night team, I don't know who the coach is, but I'm hoping I get in that team. So it's all about me now. I don't want to sound needy or what have you, but I have organised a locum coming in to do some days, so therefore it does make it easier. And I don't have that at the moment. If at 4 o'clock I have an emergency walk through the door and I've got to go in and fix a dog that's been hit by a car, I may not make it. You know, I could not get to training, but it hasn't happened so far, touch wood. But I've made sure that I'm not working on the Thursdays of the last 3 weeks just so that I don't have that stress. I stress until I get into the car. Once I'm in the car and I'm gone, I can't go back. But until 4 o'clock, I do stress that I may not get out of work.
Okay. Well, I'm not too sure which team will be in, but the one thing I do notice is those guys are very accommodating, and I'm sure they'll make every effort. I'm
sure they will. And I think you can't go wrong with any of the coaches.
Nah.
They're all amazing great coaches, and I'll be lucky to be in any of their teams. Beautiful.
The 2 teams, they're both great. But the 2 teams, they're so different. It's it is
how
amazing.
They train or
just Glenn. The reason I go on Team Red is because I've been mates with Glenn for about 20 years. So I should be always Team Blue, but I don't, just to piss Glenn off.
Oh, yeah.
And me and Nigel get on well. I wish someone put a camera on the cornerman during the fight. Nigel is just the professional. This is how it's done. Get it done, and just structured. Glenn is just wild. Like Glenn is losing his nut in the side. It is just.
So they really invested in winning. Like they really want to.
Those 2, there's a red versus blue tally, and
I said there's one fight. The difference.
And it came from the main event. They were a draw after nearly 100 fights. They were a draw.
Wow!
So the one end, they are so competitive. Those 2, they are invested in each fight to a level which I'm fully invested in. I'm the biggest fence sitter as well. I want everything to be a draw. That's, I don't know why, but I hate to see someone lose. It just breaks my heart every time. But those two are fully invested in, and I know Craig will be because he's that's a good match. Him and
Nigel. Yeah. So it's Chris and Glenn.
Now, hands down, the most important part of the evening is the walkout song. I believe the judges score you 2 extra points for this. That's unconfirmed, but that's what I believe they should do. Tell me this walkout music that I'm going to be experiencing in approximately 31 days from now. Tell me, what have we got? Hit me.
Warrior Havana Brown. The words themselves say it all.
All right, let's have a listen. I got bad speakers. Oh, I like that dancing. Yeah, right into it. Have you got like a full choreographed walkout already set up or anything? Or are you just going to go out throwing high fives?
I practice it every Friday night after about 10 wines.
Are you still having some wines during your training?
I've dropped down
medicinal.
A couple. Yeah,
just
dropped down a couple.
Just to help you
helps
recover.
Helps with the ailments.
Is there a certain part of this song where it comes in? Like, because I think you can actually set it up to actually, just as those doors open, the fog machine, the lights and everything, you step out. Is it where it drops? Oh, there we go.
Before, so it's like you stand like a soldier, strike like a tiger. And there's a bit before that, but strike like a tiger.
YouTube are going to take this down through copyright, so I better not put too much up. That's a good song. I did mention before, young Kiara Clarkson from a few years back used that song, and she won the fight. It could be something in there.
Yes, I need some help.
Fought Simona Terranova. That was an excellent fight as well. Kiara Clarkson, who's coming down to help with the training, as you said.
Yes, she is.
She is a handful, that young lady. Good on you, Kiara. All right, last up, nickname. What do we got?
We've got Kerri, the Animal Warrior Wallis.
That's good. That's so fitting. That is so fitting for you.
Yes.
Just a warrior for the animals.
No. That's right, yeah. It's not too much of a killer name, but I think it is fitting considering.
It suits you.
Yeah.
30 years of it. You deserve it.
So the walkout song is unusual because I'm very old school. You'd expect me to have an old school song.
No.
Like it was.
This would still be 10 years old.
Would have been Pat Benatar all fired up.
Pat Benatar. It hit.
Was the other choice. They were my two I was deciding between, but I've chosen this now. It's done.
This is fine. This is still 9-10 years ago. So this is a bit of an older song.
It's a new song for me.
Okay. I was told to ease back because I went a bit hard on some of the new music. So I was told to go a bit easier on the people. Some of these young'uns and some of this music. It's good. It's up to them, but I find it questionable.
Well, some of these girls that I might be matched up against probably could be my children.
Imagine their music. I'll be getting right into Havana Brown, I tell you. This is one of the better songs I've heard so far. So good on you. And that nickname's good. I'm glad you thought up a nickname. Means something. Suits you. I could see it.
Thank you.
It's going to be great. Team Red, Team Blue, whichever team you're on, I'm sure you're going to do them proud. That's about it today, mate.
Great.
That has gone for a while.
It has gone for a while.
How have you found it?
Better than I thought.
Were you nervous coming in here?
Not really, but a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Well, if you would have listened to some of the episodes before, you would know what
done
you're
my homework. Would have helped.
A bit busy.
I reckon I would have been more nervous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for spending the time to come in here today. That has been a pleasure. 31 days out.
Thank you very much for your time and effort.
That's a lot of effort, especially with you guys.
Yeah.
I want to wish you all the best for the night. And if afterwards, if you ever want to come back in here, offer it to everyone. Come back in here, talk about the fight. We can go through the fight on the big screen there. Tell me how you got that belt. Bring it in. Show me.
Yeah, definitely. We'll go with that.
Thanks for your time today, mate, and I will see you soon.
And thank you. See ya.